Okay, today I'm in something a little different, and I apologize to you Corvette experts out there. I'm not a Corvette expert. I'm just driving this Corvette as a Porsche driver, as a person that has a Porsche channel, drives a lot of Porsches. As a comparison, you know, this is an $80,000, $90,000 sports car, and in the Porsche world, an $80,000 or $90,000 car is a Macan S or GTS, or a Cayman S, maybe a GTS. But this delivers so much more value for money. So as a Porsche driver, it's quite interesting to drive the Corvette. And a more spaceship-like car I have never driven in my life. This is a remarkable piece of equipment. This is the C8 with the engine in the back. And I don't know, whenever I see a C8 on the road, I have to double take and think, is that a supercar? Is that a hypercar of some sort? Is that some sort of McLaren or something like that? Because they look so exotic now. And inside the car, it is something else. You know, there's a lot in here that you don't get in Porsches. Heads-up displays, the rear vision mirror with a display on it, lots and lots of little toys. It is really a fantastic value for money. And the way it delivers power, this 6.2 litre V8 is frankly terrifying. Nothing in the Porsche world is anything like that. This is a far more raw experience. So right now I've got it in, I don't know what mode, some mode. I've moved this thing here. Oh, here I am in track mode, and it changes all the steering, the engine, suspension, turns the sound up. So we'll do that, punch it again. And the rear just gets out a little bit. Oh my God, this thing is insane. Actually, the first time I experienced the madness of a Chevy pushrod V8 was as a 20-something-year-old back in the 1990s. I rented a C4 Corvette in Hawaii for a few days, collected a bunch of parking tickets and speeding fines, and then fled the scene. I was actually afraid to return to Hawaii for some time after that for fear they were still hunting the fugitive Nick Murray. Back then, the C4 seemed so futuristic to me, with its massive yellow buttons and part digital dash. Fast forward to the C8 and the recipe remains much the same. The engine is moved to the back, but of course it is still a pushrod V8, and the interior is still futuristic with buttons everywhere and of course a digital dash. These days you'll find the front release hidden under here and the trunk up the front. The doors also open with little hidden buttons, even on the inside. There is an emergency release down here should everything fail. Inside, I love that there's still physical buttons for almost everything you need. The rear vision mirror is a mirror or a monitor displaying the rear camera. The T-top roof can be removed and stored behind the engine compartment, and then there's even a little spot to charge your phone. Yeah, she's quite a beast to look at. Does anyone get that license plate? Anyway, back to the driving. Sitting inside the Corvette compared to say a Porsche 911, you know, it's a completely different viewpoint. The Porsche 911 seems like a fishbowl compared to this. You know, every Corvette I've ever driven, I think the downside is that it's a little bit like driving a washing machine. But this car goes a long way to address those issues. You know, first of all, there's this new rear vision mirror, which takes a little bit of getting used to, which is a display with the camera on the back. So instead of looking at the rear vision mirror and focusing at a distance, you need to focus on the screen. But it really does do a great job of showing everything behind you. Whereas if I just flick it to normal mirror mode, you just get that little postage stamp window at the back. So that is a fantastic feature. And otherwise, the blind spots are pretty much done. Like I'm watching my camera car and having no trouble keeping track of where it is because of the great mirrors. You know, it is a much improved visibility over the old Corvettes. As for the dash and how everything is laid out electronically, nothing but credit to Chevy here. This is a fantastically easy car to get used to. You can do everything on the screen, but they still have all the buttons here. You know, if I want to turn up the temperature or turn on the heated seats or anything like that, there's still physical buttons all the way down here. The square steering wheel is either a love it or hate it thing, but I'm actually quite enjoying it. I like the way it sits on my hands. Yeah, and it really does make seeing the dashboard a lot easier.
The thing that really impresses me is the kick in the guts that you get whenever you put your foot to the floor. It is a barrage of sensations. You know, that engine noise from the back, that V8 really resonates through your whole body. For a naturally aspirated engine, it really feels turbocharged torquey. I'm going to slip it all the way back to touring mode. Yeah, and immediately you notice the drop in volume in the exhaust, and suddenly, yeah, you really feel this car is the Z51 package, so it's got the magnetic ride, just like the PASM that we have in the Porsches. But it really, you can really feel the difference. Like, it's suddenly, now that it's in tour mode, it's in sort of soft mode, all the texture of the road is suddenly gone. It's not now a comfortable cruiser. Switch it back to sport mode, and instantly you feel more feedback in the steering, feel more feedback in the pedals, and you can feel the road even in your butt. Yeah, the magnetic ride on this is really something. You know, you're getting all this performance, 500 odd horsepower, world-class handling, and supercar looks. You know, it's a complete package for what in the Porsche world would be a low-end car. And I have to wonder whether this and its brethren are going to be the last of the V8 Corvettes. I certainly hope not, but if it is, they're certainly going out in style. This package is pretty remarkable.
So finally, comparing with the 911, well, the first thing, of course, is that your average 911 is at least twice the price of the Corvette, and that's hard to get past. However, the overused cliche, of course, is that the Porsche is more of a scalpel, whereas the Corvette is more of a sledgehammer, but that's less so in this generation. You know, they've done a lot of work to make this car so easy to drive, so predictable. It's really very impressive and, frankly, world class. Anyway, I wanted to thank my friend Joe and his father Joe, the owner of this Corvette, for letting me drive it and use it in this review. Really quite something. I think anyone would enjoy driving a C8 Corvette every day. And we look forward to the Z06 edition, which will be coming out soon. I hope to do a review on that as well. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye then.